Was Pokemon Day a flop? Let's talk about it. So in an article from Polygon, nicknamed Pokegon for today, everything announced at February's Pokemon Presents. The article starts off talking about Pokemon Day 2023. That means the Pokemon Company put together a slew of announcements about upcoming games and updates to existing titles. In a 25-minute Pokemon Presents live stream, fans heard about updates for Pokemon Scarlet Violet, a long-awaited news blast about Pokemon Sleep, and an upcoming Netflix series called Pokemon Concierge. The live stream kicked off with an announcement about the Pokemon World Championships, which will be held in Japan for the first time ever. From August 11th through the 13th at the Pacifico Yokohama, gamers will compete in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the Pokemon trading game, and Pokemon Unite. The event will also air live broadcasts for fans who cannot attend in person. The Pokemon Company is re-releasing the original Pokemon trading card game, that is to say the original lineup of cards in a deluxe package designed to be an all-in-one way to play the TCG. Pokemon Trading Card Game Classic is expected to launch late in 2023. Pricing was not announced. More information will be revealed about this release at the Pokemon Championships. Netflix and the Pokemon Company announced Pokemon Concierge, a new original series to be released on the streaming service using stop-motion animation. This series will expand on the Pokemon universe. The show takes place at a Pokemon resort and follows the story of a concierge named Haru and the many Pokemon that visit as guests. A very brief trailer depicted a Psyduck walking slowly along the beach. The legendary Pokemon Zacian is joining Pokemon Unite. Fans may recall this Pokemon is a dog with a sword in its mouth. Also, to celebrate Pokemon Day, Pokemon Unite is distributing a special item. Use code Pokemon Day to unlock it. Pokemon Cafe Remix is adding Sprigatito, Quaxley, and Fuecoco. The game is also celebrating Pokemon Day by giving away an in-game outfit for Chef Greninja. The long-awaited Pokemon Sleep got a full-length trailer, a little like an alarm clock crossed with Pokemon Go. It's a mobile game that rewards you for getting a good night's sleep. The app measures and records and analyzes your sleep. Pokemon who tend to sleep in the same way that you do will show up in your game. The game therefore encourages you to research the sleep styles of various Pokemon. The live stream also reintroduced the Pokemon Plus accessory. They really could use a better name, which can be used with Pokemon Go and Pokemon Sleep. It's a small Pokeball-shaped device that you can leave on your pillow at night to aid you in Pokemon Sleep, or carry in a bag during the day to catch Pokemon automatically in Pokemon Go. And then finally, they talked about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. New Paradox Pokemon are coming to Scarlet and Violet. Walking Wake, which is a shiny bull-like Pokemon, which will appear in Scarlet. A Pokemon named Iron Leaves, which looks like a deer, will also be in Pokemon Violet. They clearly didn't know what they're talking about here. But later today, an update will roll out for Pokemon Go players that will allow them to connect their game to Scarlet and Violet. The Pokemon Company also announced that Pokemon Home support for Scarlet and Violet is coming in early 2023. And then the big one, the DLC. The live stream's final trailer was for the upcoming DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, called The Hidden Treasures of Area Zero. Part 1 of the DLC, called The Teal Mask, which will be released in fall of 2023. Part 2, The Indigo Disc, will come out in winter of 2023. In Part 1, players will visit the island of Kitakami as part of a school trip. In the second part of the DLC, players will be exchange students at the Blueberry Academy. Legendary Pokemons called Ogrepon and Terrapagos will be introduced in this DLC. The Hidden Treasures of Area Zero will be available for pre-order on the Nintendo eShop now. And so with that, that is Pokemon Day 2023 in a nutshell. Colt, give me your thoughts about all this Pokemon goodness. Do you think this is hype or lame?
For the most part, I would say it was underwhelming. Not necessarily lame. There are some cool parts of that. Although I'm not an avid Pokemon player, I do enjoy Pokemon games. I just haven't indulged in a while. I personally would not be super excited for these things other than the DLC. I mean, DLC is always good as long as you don't have to pay for it. Do you have to pay for this DLC?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not as excited about that now. The game Scarlet and Violet had kind of a bad release, kind of got a bad rap on the graphics, the bugs, and all that stuff. The least they could do to combat that is give you free DLC the first time, at least. Other than that, Pokemon Day was kind of a flop.
Yeah, I wasn't exactly too impressed. My hopes were really in the fact that we would get ports of Game Boy Advanced and Game Boy games from previous Pokemon generations, but it seems like Game Freak and Nintendo just said, nah, fam, we're not going to do that now. Maybe it will happen in the future, but to me, that it's a real L not for them to do this, especially the timing with Nintendo Switch Online bringing compatibility for Game Boy and Game Boy Advanced games to the subscription program. I don't know why you wouldn't put Pokemon on there. I mean, better yet, just give me paid for ports. I would pay $10 to $20 for good ports to the Switch of each Pokemon game. Yes. And I'm sure many fans would as well, especially because the Switch isn't going anywhere. According to Nintendo's president, Switch 2 is not on the horizon, at least for the next year or so. So we might as well just enjoy Pokemon games, and especially with the whole situation of the ports that they did for the 3DS going to be basically obsolete when the 3DS eShop goes offline in March. So there's going to be no real legitimate way to play these older games unless you've already bought them for your 3DS and have downloaded them. I think they're kind of hurting themselves as far as potential profit. The other thing they could have done, I think that could have made this announcement better, is if they had decided to do a remake of a previous generation. Like how they did Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee kind of as a stopgap for X and Y until those could come out, or even like the new Pearl and Diamond remakes before Violet and Scarlet. Just do something in the intermediate. If this is all the Pokemon we're getting this year, is this DLC in Scarlet and Violet, I think they made a mistake.
True. Bringing back the old ports of the Game Boy Advance games would have been the only thing for somebody like me who's not already hooked into playing Pokemon right now. That would have been the only thing to bring me back. Like that would make me pick up my Switch and buy a Pokemon game, because I would buy those that get put in if they got put into the store and play them, and then that might intrigue me to buy Violet or Scarlet and actually play the new ones if I really get hooked into Pokemon again.
So with all that, let us know your thoughts on Pokemon Day 2023. Was it a flop or was it actually good? Are you excited for the things they announced or what? Let us know your thoughts in the comment. And if you haven't subscribed already, can I beg you, please subscribe? I'm lonely. I need friends. So please click that button and we'll see you in the next time. I've been Freeman.
And I am Kolt, and this is Dutacular.